Thank you, Sir Philip Craven, and thank you for being such an inspiration. And now I'd like to introduce our next speaker. I give the floor to His Excellency Mohammed Khaled Khiari, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of Tunisia to the United Nations. He's the co-chair of the Group of Friends of Sport for Development and Peace. The group helps organize the celebrations of the International Days of Sport for Development and Peace. Thank you so much for doing that, and please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning to all. Thank you, Madam Moderator. Your Excellency, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General of the United Nations. Your Excellency, Mr. Sam Kutesa, President of 69th Session of General Assembly. Honorable Thomas Bach, President of International Olympic Committees. Honorable Sir Philip Craven, President of the International Paralympic Committees. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me at the outset to express our gratitude and appreciation to the Secretary General for his presence here with us today. I would like also to welcome and extend my sincere appreciation to Mr. President of the 69th Session of General Assembly for taking his time in spite of his very busy schedule, as well as to Mr. Thomas Bach, President of IOC, and Mr. Sir Craven, President of IPC, for their valuable contributions to the world of sport and beyond. I would like to express my gratitude as well to Mr. Wilfried Lemke, Special Advisor of the Secretary General of Sport for Development and Peace, and to pay tribute to his tireless efforts to promote the use of sport as an effective tool for development, peace building, and conflict resolution. Since the creation of this position, we have gradually felt this paradigm shift on the ground. My thanks go to all member states, civil society, media, and athletes for their continuous support and efforts to reinforce the understanding of the use of sport for development amongst the United Nations system. Daniel Craig, the famous actor, James Bond, knows as James Bond 007, was yesterday with us in United Nations as in the main action lobbying. Next week, the Security Council will receive another famous person. I can't say the name because the President of Security Council would like to keep it a surprise. For us, the community of sport, we are delighted today to receive our stars, the stars that have marked their favorite sports, and the stars that has given joy, happiness, and hope to successive generations. So welcome for all our distinguished guests. Today marks the second celebration of the International Day of Sport for Development and Peace, as it was proclaimed by the historic resolution of the 67th session. I say historic because before the 67th sessions, we had a vast array of dates commemorating different aspects of life within the United Nations, but sport was missing. In this auspicious occasion, and with the presence of this vast array of distinguished guests, we are happy that we could address these shortcomings by bridging the gap generated by the delay and raise awareness of the virtue of sport for development and peace. Yes, we have made remarkable progress, but a lot of work still needs to be done. Sport's significance for the improvement of an individual character and the society welfare is a well-known fact, but not sufficiently vulgarized and disseminated as it should be. That explains the reason why member states decided to include sport in the development context within the activities of the United Nations as a tool for development and peace. Tunisia, as co-chair with Monaco of the UN Groups of Friends of Sport on Development and Peace, will spare no effort to use, together and with our partners, the potential of sport for all in achieving sustainable development for all. In 2015, we embarked on the critical task of negotiating an ambitious, inclusive, and transformative post-2015 development agenda, which should herald a new era of sustainability for all humankind. Recognizing the contribution of sport to development and peace, we believe that the role of sport as a tool to promote tolerance and mutual understanding, non-discrimination and social inclusivity, education and health must be fully utilized in the achievement of our common goal, which is sustainable development for all. I'm sure that our Ministry of Health, the Tunisian Ministry of Health, who is present with us today, will share these thoughts, and those expressed or to be expressed later today, particularly on issues related to the positive impact of sports on good health and well-being, as his ministry is already involved to that end in joint program with the Tunisian Ministry of Youth and Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, the PR of Sweden, who knows about my sports background as ex-high-level football player and my passion for sport in general, has been kind enough to hand me a very exciting autobiography of the famous football player Zlatan Ibrahimovic, recently published under the title, I'm Zlatan, My Story on and Off the Field. The book depicts the story of an immigrant from Bosnia-Herzegovina who evolved in Sweden into an international and exceptional football player. The story of Zlatan describes clearly how sport can be a factor for positive transformation through hard work and determination. In this book, Zlatan launches the call to kids to keep believing in themselves, saying things worked for him and that there is no reason that it could not work for them. This is a message of hope and realism that illustrates the power of sport for bringing together one's hope and achievement. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Ambassador Mohamed Khiari. Thank you so much. And you made a very important point that I personally knew about the power of sports, but I learned now, preparing for this event, of how important it is for an international, the biggest international organization in this world to take it up on its agenda and to mobilize that force. It existed in chaotic ways out there in the world, but I realized how important it is when everything is focused and everything is mobilized worldwide. So that's a very, very important position that you have and everybody else and the Secretary General coming up with this idea to mobilize this power that existed around the world. Now I'd like to introduce our